Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters, and welcome to a Sabbath Bible study. Me talking and reading out of the Bible. I am no expert theologian or anything of the sort, so please don't take me as some kind of trying to be a teacher or, anything like this. These are just scriptures that I come across throughout my personal reading in the week. Sorry, I'm trying to readjust myself on this log. And I think it may be something to share with. Usually it's, feel that I'm being led that direction to kind of share these, thoughts with you. So, in no way am I claiming any type of authority on the Bible. Excuse me, came out of nowhere. So, this past week, one of my viewers, which I'm sure many of you have seen his posts. He's the guy that posts many times on the videos, please like, click, and subscribe to this video. I've never asked him to do that, so don't think that he's kind of like the guy working with me to do that, to get you to like and subscribe. He does that on his own, and I appreciate it. I appreciate him doing that, and I appreciate him. He emailed me and just gave me some encouraging words and some scriptures that were laid on his heart to kind of pass my way. And it was really a blessing, and I want to thank him for that. In doing so, and I communicated this a little with him, so if he watches this, he'll kind of probably know somewhat where I'm headed. In doing that, you know how it is. You'll be reading in the Bible, and, one scripture leads to another place in the Bible, and then you feel your heart tugged to a different area, and then, it's, later on you're somewhere completely different, but there's also connection there, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's what happened, and it brought me to Galatians chapter 6. And before I read it, I was raised in church my whole life, and it was a type of home that, you didn't have an option. Sunday mornings, Sunday evening, Wednesday evenings, you went to church. If those doors were open, we were there. My parents were, we were always into some type of church work, church ministry work, a lot of children's ministry, music ministry. My mother was a choir director for a while. My father was a song leader, that type of stuff. So I was in church a lot. And the one thing that it didn't take too long as I started growing up, becoming a teenager and that sort of thing in the church, that it became apparent that Christians, modern Christians, churchgoers, they don't seem to really get along as well as you'd think they would. I mean, they claim that they're all part of the, they're all children of the Most High Yah. They claim that they're, brothers and sisters, we use that term. Excuse me. But do they really get along that well? They don't. I mean, there is always some kind of, fighting going on behind the scenes. I mean, how many churches, they go through these splits. People get mad and they go to another church. And I know this may be harsh, but in my experience, you might get stabbed in the back faster by a fellow believer than by a non-believer. Now, that's harsh, and I get that. I'm just saying that it happens a lot, and it shouldn't. And as those of us following in the way, that our eyes have been opened, the scales have been lifted off of our eyes. So now we're seeing following Yeshua in a different light than maybe we grew up. And some of you may have, didn't grow up in church, and this is all new to you. I suspect that many, at least ones that I've communicated with, the case is that you probably grew up in church or been going to church for many years, and you're finally becoming aware of the full meaning of the Bible. So how do we address that? We need to stick together. People ask a lot when I do these, are you Jewish? What's the deal? I refer to myself, my family, as Torah observant. just to clarify, that means that, we believe that the only way through, to heaven is through Yeshua, which Christians refer to as Jesus. And we believe that is the only plan of salvation. But we also believe that through the teachings in the Word, that if we truly love Him and His Father, our Father, Yahweh, and as we read that we are grafted in to the tree, we're grafted into the vine, that we become part of His family, part of His children, then, we have an obligation to obey His laws through our love. It doesn't mean that those kind of works are what's going to get us to heaven. It's through our love for Him and our desire to obey our Father because of His goodness to us, that we return that by obeying the laws that He has commanded us to do. Anyways, I'm going off on the area that I wasn't planning on going. But as whatever term you might want to use, Torah observant, let's go with that one for this video. We need to stick together. And I'm not saying that we don't, although I have seen a little bit of, disagreement. And there's always, that's what we do as humans. Well, I see it this way. I think it should. And that's fine. But we don't have to take it to a level of fighting. We don't have to take it to a level of a personal attacks. If you want to do those types of things in private, and I'm not talking attacking, but talking to someone in private and say, hey, listen, I disagree with this, or I think you should, I have a problem. Do it in private. Don't go on a public attack, and realize that they are a brother and sister, that they are part of you, you are part of them, because you're both part of Him, okay? And realize that, we really have an obligation to kind of each other, to kind of help each other, back each other up, be there for each other, and encourage each other. Because when there's this fighting going on, you're hurting. It's damaging your witness. It's damaging your witness to others. It's damaging your walk with each other. Your walk with the Father. You're sowing seeds of discontent. You're sowing seeds of and you're going to be reaping the wrong kind of thing. So it's something to think about. So I'm going to get off, talk probably too much. I should have read first. Anyways, let me find it, because I didn't mark it. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption, but he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap, if we do not lose heart. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all. And this is the part that caught my eye. Especially to those who are of the household of faith. A different version, I had read that, it said those that are set apart. So, especially to those, when we have an opportunity to do good, we should do it. And especially do it to our fellow brothers and sisters. Do we do that? There have been times in my life that I've actually said, and please don't get me wrong, and I pray that none of you are offended by me saying this. But again, realize that I did grow up in church, was very involved. Actually, I was a seminary dropout. That's a whole different story. Anyways, but I have said it, that I would probably trust someone, some drunk biker kind of person in a bar sometimes more than I would trust a fellow believer. And that's really wrong. It's wrong for me to think that and say that, but it's wrong that we should be in a situation that there may be truth in that. That's what's even worse, is that there could be some truth there. And we should work to build a fellowship here. On the other videos that I talk about throughout the week, I do talk, often about community. Not just, the kind of community where you all live on the same property, but, the people around you that you have connections with. Because it's beneficial to you from a homesteading and preparedness perspective. But it's also something that followers, you and I, should be doing. We should be building that connection and helping each other out. You know, those of us that are Torah observant, they're typically kind of, we're the real minority when it comes to religion. And we need to stick together. We need to, you know, build each other up, help each other when we can. And just because we disagree with each other, the last time I checked, no one, you know, something I've heard growing up, you know, who died and made you, you know, God or something like that. Last time I checked, you know, no one appointed you the new, or me, the new boss here on earth that's directing us. We're all still children. We're all still new in this walk, no matter how many years you've been doing it. We all still have things to learn. And the thing that we many times need to learn the most is just to get along and to help each other out. You know, not to sow seeds of corruption, but to sow seeds of the Spirit, building each other up, lifting each other up, because it also shows to the outside world who we are. You know, we say we want to be set apart, we want to be different. Well, we've got to do that through our actions with each other also. We've got to, you know, be there for each other, help each other out, build each other up, sow good seeds of this through the Spirit. And when we have the opportunity to do good, we should do good, and especially do good to our fellow brothers and sisters. So especially for those of you that were in the church, you know, in the typical, you know, American church, whatever denomination, and you woke up, the scales were removed, and you woke up to the way. Don't bring that with you. You know, that's something else that we need to learn to cut off of that you know, sowing seeds of discontent and you know, not getting along. So I hope I didn't step on too many feelings. Actually, I probably don't care, but no, that's horrible to say. We just need to all work together and help each other out. And I'm not saying that I see this happening, you know, in large amounts, but it does happen. And so, you know, just like we need to be, you know, working to kind of make connections and help each other out in our community because of preparedness reasons, we also need to prepare our soul and help each other out, build each other up. And when we have the opportunity to do good, take that opportunity, especially when it's our brother and sister. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Sabbath. Shalom.